Welcome everyone to Chapter 4 of Black in Business, Her Story. I am Justina Perry, founder and director of BuyBlackNB.
And my name is Rihanna Grace, and I'm on the board with the New Bedford Historical Society. I'm so happy to have everyone here today. We're really excited. We have a great lineup. This is our 4th episode, and we're focusing on everything beauty. So this is how we'll be spending our time here today. We will be meeting some amazing women who are literally making history. Today, you will meet Amber Arias and Cedella Moniz from Lush Blowout, Emily Cabral and Stacey Ribeiro of Hair Goals Beauty Supply, Celestial Houtman of Finesse Beauty Studio, and the Jonna Veal of Jonna's Hair Salon, all business owners here to share with us.
All right. And Rihanna, as we know, for most people in this country, we are not socialized to take Black women's knowledge seriously. And many Black women have to struggle against the forces of patriarchy, racism, and class oppression that keep us silenced, ignored, and marginalized. For Black women and girls, they're uniquely and violently oppressed in this society. So listening to Black women is a key to challenging these multiple forms of oppression. And when it comes to starting a business, Black women face unique challenges, including access to capital and a stigma that Black owned is cheaper and poorer qualities. So the stories we are sharing today are all important for us to listen to if we are passionate about building a more just society.
So true, Justina. Thank you for sharing that. And I'm really excited that we're going to kick off tonight with some ladies from Lush Blowout. Lush Blowout and Beauty Bar is owned and operated by Amber Arias, licensed cosmetologist, specializing in cuts and blowouts since 2017. Her love for beauty and also being a stay-at-home mom led her to the opening of a space where you can relax, unwind, and leave feeling refreshed and beautiful. They are currently expanding their team with more hairstylists and braiders. They will be opening their new location at New Bedford's Howland Place. Cedella Moniz was born and raised in Cape Verde. She came to the U.S. at the age of 11, and she attended middle and high school here. While attending school, she always managed to get yelled at by teachers due to the fact that she was always doing someone's hair in class. At that same time, she grew up in the projects in Bay Village, where she was always yet again doing someone's hair, somewhere, somehow. Words got around and support came about, and here she is 6 years later, living to satisfy each and every one of her braid babes. It's so important to her to make sure that she gives all of her braid babes exactly what they want as far as style goes. The fact that she takes part in making someone feel good about themselves every day is what keeps her going. So without further ado, I'd love to welcome Amber and Cedella to hear their stories.
Welcome.
So I started about 4 years ago. I was stay-at-home mom then. I had been staying home for about 2 years with my daughter, and I was just getting super antsy and wanted to get back to work and just be doing something. So I started taking girls in my house. I was washing their hair in my kitchen sink, blow drying them in my spare room, or really wherever I could fit people in. And then somebody started telling other girls, and then it kind of just got a little crazy. So I was like, you know what? I need an actual space, not my kitchen sink. And that's how we ended up here in this beautiful space where all of you have come so far. And it's served me so greatly and given me such a nice space to treat you guys to great services, and been able to have me bring on Cedella here, who started out coming to me for random facials every now and then. And then I was like, oh, she's really good at braiding. And I also wanted to expand on services that like maybe not I could offer, but the salon could offer, because no one wants me braiding their hair. I can promise you that, because it's not going to be cute at all. She is very good at that. She has the patients I tell all the time, I'm like, you have crazy patience, because braiding is just not for me at all in any way, shape, or form. And she's super talented. And I was like, I would just love to have that, not necessarily done by me, but I would love to have somebody else doing it. So I reached out to her and she was somewhere, but she was looking for like a change. And then I brought her in and she loved the space and we worked with each other for a month so far. And it's been like a blast. I'm like, oh, I needed you here the whole time. And I've always said, I love working by myself. It's just like my quiet space, but like this has meshed very well. It worked out very well. I'm like, oh, I found like my other goofy half that does all the things that I don't want to do, pretty much hair related. So it works out great because us together can kind of give you guys the greatest, like a good atmosphere and 2 great services as well.
Absolutely. And how did I start? I would say I started definitely braiding in school. In school, I braided a few friends here and there. And then we moved over to the project. And if you live in the project, you know how the words get around. So that was that. Now it's been 6 years now, going on 6 years. And I just want to really thank everybody because it's given me the chance to just better my work over the years, where I started versus where I am now, next to the boss lady herself, who will be moving soon. And we'll be able to just braid fart. That's nice. I can't think of anything else. I'm like stuck here.
No problem. This has been really great hearing your stories. And I love how you both just kind of found each other and fit what it sounds like, what each of you are missing and what you wanted to offer. Sadella, who wanted to expand on her skills and get some more practice in, and Amber, who wanted to, even though she couldn't offer it herself, expand in the offerings of her business and be able to bring on a really talented person to grow the potential of the business in general. So I think that it's so awesome that you guys aligned and found each other, because everyone that I talk to knows about Lush, and everyone that I talk to has at least been a client one time or is sharing is trying to book. So you guys have really honestly built something really grassroots, right? Like you said, you started just doing people's hair at home, and you've come to this point, and it's been amazing to just see over time, even just from me as a bystander, seeing how much you've grown. So really excited. And again, we appreciate you guys being here to share your story. So if you don't mind, I just have a couple questions that I want to hop into that I wanted to get your feedback on. So my first question is, hair is such a big factor in the Black community. Hair salons and barber shops have always been a place of gathering and community. And so with restrictions for COVID-19 and how things have changed in this past year, do you feel like you've still been able to build that sense of community in your business, and why or why not?
I do. I feel like it's definitely come later on though, because I opened right as soon as we were able to open. So that was me really starting. So I was kind of building my community, and at that point, it was really just me and my clients. So I was making bonds with them. Then I had girls that they would be like, oh, I know this one who goes here. I know this so-and-so. But then like the interaction that you get in the salon and barbershop feel, where it's like you can kind of talk about things going on, common things in life, things going on in the world. That has been like super recent with Sadella, but it's great because even the two of us, we can have clienteles that are from 2 totally different backgrounds, but it's like when you're in here, we all have like something mutually in common, whether it be like the one piece of hair that's driving you bananas, or the boyfriend that's driving you bananas, or the kid that's driving you bananas. Like we all have something, shopping addiction. Like there's something that we all have in common when you're sitting in here, and we can like joke and laugh. So it definitely does create that like community feel, as much as our clients also love, because we've been kind of small, the intimacy that they get, because it's not really a big hustle and bustle, but it is still nice to have like the camaraderie between other people and being able to like talk and go back and forth with people. Yeah. So I feel it's been a little rough, but also when we grow too, we're gonna have more stylists. We're still going to try to keep that same intimacy, but we are still going to want to have you to see people, you know, or say hey to this one, or maybe meet somebody else and have that like kind of community-based setting.
A lot of it too, I feel like during this pandemic, a lot of people have been able to speak on the struggle, because I feel like in the world today, people are like embarrassed of that. Like, oh, I'm not struggling, I'm doing fine. But the pandemic made, like, if we can't relate on something, we could relate on the insanity, like how crazy all of this has been, you know what I mean?
We've all been wanting to go nuts.
Yeah,
the basket. That's true. Yeah, that's like another thing that they're like, struggles really within the last year, people have been able to connect on as well too.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. And I think that hairstylists, especially, or any type of service that someone's like sitting for a while, it's always like you're a stylist and also part counselor, therapist. Yeah.
And it's funny too, because I can be their therapist, but sometimes they're my therapist. Yes. I'm like, girl, listen, it's been a day. So it's kind of a back and forth. Yeah, it could be like we'll both play those roles, but it's definitely like a hair therapy session where you just feel good after. So maybe not a therapy session like where you want to cry after, but like a good like, whew, okay, I feel better.
No, there's always jokes that's like your stylist or your esthetician, they know all your secrets, they know all the family, because when you're there, it's just, you're just opening up and sharing about your life, which I think is really special to be able to have that type of relationship with your clients.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. I feel great knowing that my clients are comfortable to vent and share things with me that they might not even tell, I don't know, any like people they're close to. So I do have a relationship with a lot of my clients like that. And I'm so appreciative of it, because I'm like, I got to meet so many people that without this, I probably never would have met. And you get to make so many connections that really help you grow as a person. Honestly, I feel like my growth in this has been very major as a person, because I've gotten to meet so many people and how to interact with different people and just people's different walks of life. Sometimes you can think like you're having a day, but I promise somebody is having worse of a day. And it's kind of nice to be there to uplift that person too, and be like the like, I don't know, the glimmer in somebody's day.
Awesome. Thank you. And I do have one more question. People might not think of it this way, but doing hair is a very physical job. You're on your feet all day, you're using your arms and your hands constantly. So how do both of you balance caring for yourself and your body with your busy business?
Well, it's so funny. We cracked up when you sent this message, this question, because we both looked at each other and we were like, listen,
right.
We love our girls and we love our clients, but some days I feel like our bodies are falling apart.
Yep.
So we do attempt self-care. Does it always happen? No, but I try to get monthly massages just because my back is the back of an 85-year-old woman at this point. So I try to do that. I mean, I'm personally very bad with self-care. I'm trying to be better, trying to take like time off or like do things for my body that will like help me. But definitely I have to do massages because I can start to feel it in my back. Like within the month, once I'm starting to work long hours, I'm like, nope. I'm like, if I can go one more day without a massage, then I'm going to be tapping out of work because it's not going to be working at all. So it's that. It's a lot of ibuprofen, a lot of caffeine, a lot of Bengay, a lot of random snacking and not eating full meals. But we were saying it like I wouldn't trade it for anything else because Lord knows any other job I am not fit for. I'm not fit for office or any of those type of things. This is what I'm meant to be doing. And then my body will just have to get it together.
Work with you.
Yeah.
Bella, do you have anything to add?
No, I just, like she said, try to get the massages and I try to watch what I eat really because it's just energy wise.
Right.
A lot of time on my feet. So I try to watch what I eat, exercise, and that's really the only constant thing. The massage, I fit in there here and there.
Yeah.
The exercise, I'm trying to fit it in there and there, but it's not really working out for me. But I'm trying to be better at it.
Well, I appreciate you guys being honest about that, because I'm sure that many of the women that we've interviewed already, or people that are listening, are struggling with that and finding balance and feeling like they always have to be doing something and maybe not taking the time for themselves. And so we understand that that is sometimes a sacrifice that business owners make, but you're acknowledging that you should be, it is an important thing to do. And you try to fit it in where you can. I think that a lot of people will relate to that, trying their best to be able to do that balance.
Definitely, as women, I feel like we take on a lot, not even being, I mean, you could be a business owner, but just women in general take on a lot, and we don't give ourselves the chance to do things for ourselves.
Yep.
Which is another reason why, honestly, I love, and I tell girls to get blow dries. I'm like, listen, because you just need like that second. But really, anything as far as like working out, massages, nail, whatever it may be, like self-care needs to become more of a thing, because you will run yourself literally dry if you don't. And I'm preaching this, I'm super bad at it. So don't think I'm self-caring myself, because I'm not. I'm running on zero, but I'm trying to be better. But I just realized that as women, we take on a lot. And then as business owners, we can take on a lot. And being a mom, you can take on a lot. And some people are juggling all three of those hats. And it's just like, I tell women all the time, I have one child and I'm managing her. So anytime I meet like a mother of like 2 or more, I'm like, oh, you guys are amazing in my book. I don't know how you're doing it. God bless you. You're an angel. I'm like, because I don't know how they do it. I'm trying to figure it out. I feel like I'm getting there. But women, we just do a whole lot. So we just need to treat ourselves more.
Yeah.
I'm always telling, treat yourself, but we really just do need to be treating ourselves, because especially in this time, I feel like that, and it was taken away from us, the ability to do so for so long. So girls, listen, go wherever you need to go. If you need to come here.
Yeah.
Hold on, sorry.
Yeah, no problem. And I not to cut you off, but especially with all that Buy Black has been doing and putting together a directory, there are so many Black-owned businesses, especially Black women-owned businesses, that will provide self-care if you're looking for it. There's a whole directory of women with amazing services. And so there's a great place to start if anyone watching is looking and doesn't know where they should go, besides for your services, because now they know where to go. But if people are looking for something, Buy Black has a great directory, and that's a little plug for all that is offered with the collection on the Buy Black website as well.
Yes, super thankful for Justina and for you guys. This like just community that you guys have created is super helpful, because so many things I didn't know about, and obviously other people have just been brought to light, which kind of really needed, because this area is such a hub for talent. And I feel like if there's so much, you can kind of get like lost in it if you don't really have somebody that's highlighting. So even though COVID has been super horrible and sucked for people, it's brought out so much in people as well, I feel, especially on the creative aspect. And for situations like this where Buy Black came out of it, and now we have this space where you can go and you can find so many local things that you can support instead of supporting these like big business. I can't even talk businesses.
No, it's true, and that's really one of the goals. So thank you for that. And my last question is, are both of you currently taking clients? I know that you just shared that there's some moving that's going to be coming. You'll be having a new space. So how can people reach you if people want to get a blowout, get their hair braided? How can they find you?
We are getting super, super busy, but we are always, we are booked out. I can't speak for Zanella. I'm just taking new people. I'm always attempting to. There's always cancellations. We are definitely trying, and we are growing. We will be moving to Howland Place in June. So there will be more availability, I'm hoping, for taking on more people. And And you can follow us at Lush Blowout on Instagram, or you can follow Braids by Della on Instagram as well. And hopefully soon it just won't, I mean, I want the madness, so please bring on the madness, but like hopefully it will just be a more like, I don't know, maybe we'll I'm just hoping we'll have more people to accommodate everybody.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much. I'm so excited to see what these next few months will hold for both of you. It's exciting that you're expanding to a new space, growing your team, and moving onward. So really exciting stuff. From the bottom of my heart, my sincerest appreciation for your time. This was awesome to hear your stories. And we're so excited that you could join us for today to hear about all kinds of different beauty aspects and different Black women-owned businesses. So thanks again for your time. We really appreciate it. And we're going to pass it back to Justina. So stay tuned.
All right, up next, we are welcoming Emily Cabral and Stacy Ribeiro of Hair Goals in downtown New Bedford. This cousin duo opened up their own beauty supply store because there was a need locally, so that women, particularly Black women, wouldn't have to travel outside of the area to find hair and hair accessories. So we are so grateful to you ladies to taking that initiative. Welcome.
Hi, Justina. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you for being here. Is there anything that you'd like the audience to know about your store and your journey with starting up your business?
Yeah, I'm Stacy. We're just trying to introduce ourselves so everybody knows. I'm Stacy and this is Emily, and we're the owners of Hair Goals in downtown New Bedford. We're also family. We're cousins. Yeah, we just thought about opening a store. Like a few of our friends, a lot of people out here actually were saying like how there's not much out here and they had to travel. So we just had the idea, and then I found the space. I went on Craigslist, and then the first day I came here, I'm like, this is it. This is perfect location. The downtown area is beautiful, and everybody here has been great to us. So
yeah, we wanted to really create a space where Black women specifically, but also all women, can come, feel comfortable, and kind of get some type of personal care for their hair, whether it's a wig or, you know, trying to figure out their natural hair. Just have a comfortable place where you can come speak to women who are also going through the same thing, whether it's, you know, damaged hair or a different style that you want to try out. Just a nice spot you can come to and
to be comfortable as well.
Comfortability is like very important because it can be an uncomfortable topic here.
Yeah. It is. And it's so great that you're creating that welcoming environment. And I wanted to ask you both about how it is working as family together. I know that there can be challenges with that. What are you finding within your first year of opening your business? How is that working out for the both of you?
Well, we're just a few months in, so
yeah. so far so good.
Yeah, so far we don't have any cons per se, so it's going good.
Not a lot of cons at all. We get along very well. We're only like a month apart, so we've known each other all our lives, obviously, best cousins, and we get along. So far so good. If there's ever a problem, we can communicate with each other and not hurt each other's feelings. So
it's been trying not to mix the business and the family part. We just, when we're here, it's like business. And then when we're out there, it's like,
but it's always fun.
Yeah.
That's great. That's so great. And how many months has it been since your grand opening?
6 months. Yeah, we opened up in November.
Yeah.
Happy 6 months. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Exciting.
In your first 6 months, have you been able to access any of the minority-owned business grants or loans that are reserved for people in our community who are in the small business sector? Anything working out for you with that?
Not really. We haven't gotten much information on any of the grants or loans. Partially, it's our fault. We're not doing the research we should be doing. But it's not that easy to access because I really haven't heard anybody talk about it, or I don't know anybody who has applied and actually received any of those. But yeah, we would love to be a part of it, and get some let other people know about it too, so they can also have the grant as well.
Yeah, so right now we're just like doing our research and trying to find out where are these grants, where are these things. Like, we're looking online, but we can't seem to find it.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you for being honest and opening up about your experience with navigating the grants and the loans. It sounds like it's been a challenge for many businesses being able to access that. So one last question I have before you take us on a tour of your store. I'm wondering about what beauty trends that you're seeing that people are wanting when they come in, and what needs you're able to meet for people as far as what you're offering.
I feel like right now wigs are trending. Like, everybody's wearing a wig, everybody wants to try it, and people that haven't even wore a wig are coming in and trying it. And
yeah, what I see that people are coming in for, and that's really trending, is color. Like, color on your hair is big right now. Yeah. I'm very afraid of color. I'm just like more natural, like the color you were born with. But people come here like, I want orange, pink, green, all on one wig, or I want my hair to be like that. And I think it's great. I think people are trying to have fun, and and it's past year has been kind of sad and stuff, but people are really trying to be happy, and I think they're trying to do it through their hair.
Yeah, now that things are starting to open up, I feel like people are going out a little bit more and wanting their hair done and hair products. And
now, do you do the wig installs in your store?
Yes.
Okay, that's important for people to know about. You can head over to Hair Goals and get that service as part of your purchase. That's really exciting. So thank you so much for sharing with us. Tonight, and I hope that anybody who's looking to buy hair products, accessories, hair, and I also saw that you even have some locally made by other Black-owned businesses, locally made products in stores. So I think that's really just a part of our whole mission. So thank you both for being with us tonight.
Thank you for having us.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to give you a little tour.
Tell everybody where they can find Hair Goals.
We are in downtown New Bedford, 638 Pleasant Street. And we're open Monday through Saturday from 9:30 to 7 p.m. and Sunday 11 to 6.
All right, we're ready for the tour.
Okay.
Thank you everyone for joining us for our little intermission. We're going to just be reflecting on some of the stories and giving a little bit more insight into Black women in business. So Rihanna, how are you feeling so far this evening?
I have really enjoyed hearing from the women who spoke so far. When I was chatting with Amber and Sadella, I thought it was really interesting that they admitted that getting self-care in can be a challenge. And I was saying with them that I'm sure many of the business owners or just women in general listening today have experienced the same thing, where we feel this constant need to be working hard and not taking time for ourselves. And so the fact that they kind of laughed when I asked them that question, they're like, that's something that we need to practice more. I think it just kind of speaks to society today. And it's like, on one hand, you want to give them accolades because they're so hardworking, but on the other hand, it's like, we really need to take care of ourselves. And historically, we see how Black women have always had to just work so hard to get to a certain spot and to maintain that status. And so I really hope that everyone listening today, including all the women that we spoke to and will be speaking to, are able to take time that they need for themselves and to care for themselves and really put that energy into maintaining your own spirit and wellness. I think that's really important.
Such an important takeaway. You're right. And from speaking with Emily and Stacy, I think that they're just on the right track with their business, and they seem to be really good business partners and family. And I really love the tour that they gave of their store. So yeah, it's been a really great night so far. And just wanted to share a little bit of stats because for women in general, women are receiving smaller business loans regardless of the product or service. But for Black women, the chance to qualify for traditional sources of funding can be incredibly limiting. And while Black entrepreneurs are starting businesses at higher rates than ever before, Black companies, together with Hispanic companies, have the highest failure rates.
And here's another statistic that we wanted to share. An H&R Block survey of almost 3,000 small businesses found that 53% of Black business owners saw their revenue drop by half, compared to 37% of white owners since the pandemic started. Black business owners also had more trouble establishing an online presence for their company and were more likely to have customers submit late payments, the survey said.
And one more stat pertaining to mentorship, which we have been hearing throughout the series, is so critical. But for many Black business owners, there is not the same access to mentors, since not nearly as many Black people on average have successful entrepreneurs within their families or social circles. Networking and connecting with other women of power is so important, and it's really essential that you feel supported in your business endeavors. And the lack of access to these networks, as well as not having the right tools and resources to navigate them, can prevent businesses from surviving and thriving. So with HERStory, we are supporting these Black women, amplifying their voices, and connecting women who are in the same industries by having themed events. And we're giving the audience a new way to discover businesses that they can support with their money.
Yeah, awesome. And I really appreciated Amber giving us that shout out and saying kudos to you, Justina, for pulling BuyBlackNB together, and just how important it is to have this type of directory and a place for people to turn to when looking for services. It's really expanded who people are looking at in terms of their needs or where they're purchasing items from. So really excited that this is now a real thing that people are using every day. So
I love hearing that. And over 150 businesses now on the directory that spans throughout the South Coast region. So I hope people are able to access it often.
Awesome.
Who do we have coming up next?
Great. So up next, we have Celestial Helpman, who owns and operates Finesse Beauty Studio, specializing in helping women look and feel and live their best lives. Their main focus is special event makeup, as well as eyebrow and eyelash services, specifically brow lamination, waxing, and tinting, as well as lash extensions and lash tints. Celestial and her signature natural glam makeup looks are well known to the South Coast brides and photographers for her wide and diverse range of clients. Finesse Beauty Studio is located inside the Howland Place building in New Bedford and is accepting new clients as well as 2022 bridal requests. And before I go over to Celestial, I think it's really cool. One more thing is that Amber shared that she's also moving to Howland Place. So Howland Place is going to be popping with some great Black women-owned businesses. So definitely a place it'll be a one-stop shop where you can check out a lot of great women. So without further ado, we're going to show Celestial Houtman, who is going to, I have the pleasure of getting my makeup done with Celestial. Really excited. So let's tune into that.
Yes, thank you. And then also thank you to Celestial for offering a free makeup makeover for a giveaway winner. And we were able to announce that winner tonight. So definitely tune in and watch the talents of Celestial.
Good evening, everyone. We're here with the Franchise Group recording live, an amazing segment that I'm sure everyone watching will enjoy. Here with me today, I have Celeste Houtman, and she is going to share with us by doing, not just talking. We figured what better way to learn about her art and creativity than to have her do it with us here live. So I'm thrilled and honored to be able to experience this with Celeste, and welcome. Thank you so much for agreeing to be on tonight's episode with BuyBlackNB Bedford and the New Bedford Historical Society. It's been really exciting to chronicle different women, Black women entrepreneurs, and especially in the beauty industry. So we really appreciate taking your time to be able to be with us here today.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
So can you tell us a little bit about what the look is that you're going for before you hop in?
Yeah. So it's about to be summertime. So I want to do something that's easily wearable and also easy to achieve for other non-makeup artist type of women, okay? So I want to do a really bronzy, glowy, glossy, beachy kind of vibe.
Great.
Very simple.
Wonderful. Great. So let's get started.
So I've already cleansed her skin with some micellar water and some rose toner. And now we're going to jump in with the rest of skincare. Rihanna says she has a little bit of dry skin. So we're going to make sure that her skin wants to accept all of our makeup. So I'm starting with a little hyaluronic acid and a nice little face massage. And you guys are going to see the glow just from skin prep. Next, I'm going to take what is called Instant Toning Veil. It's from a brand called Graftobian, which is a pro brand. It's a nice primer.
And I feel like sometimes people who apply makeup might skip over these steps, thinking that it's not imperative for the look.
Don't skip over these steps. You wonder why you have cake face or dry patches, or you're accentuating all the texture that your skin has. It's because you're not doing skin prep. There's never too much skin prep. Makeup is all about layering. So you want to layer things that go well together, of course. Next, we're going to take some of my favorite Embryolisse Light Cream Concentrates. This stuff is amazing for dry skin.
How do you kind of land on products that become your fave? Is it just a bunch of trial and error, or do you read reviews? What gets you to your favorite?
A little of both.
Yeah.
A little of both. So I find that sometimes reviews can be really personal, you know? Someone may love something and I may hate it. So
Right.
you kind of have to take reviews with a grain of salt. Of course, when there's all kinds of products being hyped up, I want to try them.
Right.
Because if it seems like everybody loves it, then maybe it is something good. But I definitely do a lot of trial and error. I've wasted a lot of money. I will not lie. This feels so nice and smooth.
It does, and it smells amazing.
It's so fresh. So we're gonna layer one more product on top of this. We're gonna do a beauty oil. This is a Milani Rose and Brighten Face Oil. This stuff is great and it's affordable. So I'm just going to take a few drops. Mix it up nice. We're gonna press this right onto her face. And this is all soaking in. Her skin is accepting all of this. I'm not getting any weird product roll up. That's how you know that your products aren't blending together, and you might want to, it's trial and error. Take one out, try it with something different, you know. But you don't want to see like product rolling up on your skin. That's no good. And then we can't forget the lips. Just going to take a little bit of a lip mask. And I'm going to hand this to Rihanna, and she's going to apply this right on her lips. It's really nice. That's a Milani Rose Butter Lip Mask. Thank you. That runs for like $10, and you can get it at like any CVS, Walgreens. Yep. It's really good.
I think that's another thing that sometimes people are apprehensive of getting into makeup, because I know you did say that you wasted a lot of money, but I think there are so many quality, affordable products.
Yes.
People just have to know where to look. And
drugstore is really stepping up its game, and they are competing with prestige brands. They are on it. A lot of the times I'm finding some of the drugstore dupes are actually better than the prestige version, and they're more affordable.
Yep.
So, and a lot of times they're cruelty-free as well, which is nice. So, we're letting that soak in. Today we're gonna use Vanessa Myrick's foundation, Vision Cover Cream. I already have my colors preset for her. I always use 2 shades of foundation. No matter who it is, I always use 2 shades. This is how you get the most natural result and the best match, because especially as women of color, we're not just one shade.
Right, right.
If you had shoulders bare, your shoulders are probably darker, your chest here is lighter, your forehead here is darker. Just looking at you, I can see it. So we want to play up all of those tones so that everything looks natural and not caked on, okay?
Right.
So of course I'm gonna start with her foundation shade, the lighter shade.
And just if we could get a little bit into your story.
Yeah.
You are already, I mean, you've already shared so much of your knowledge. How did you get to this point? What's your background and how did you get here?
Well, I'm a makeup artist and esthetician. I got into makeup really in 2013, kind of with the rise of Instagram and YouTube. I was always into makeup as a kid. As a child, I would wear my grandmother's red lipstick all the time, and we kind of should have known back then that I was onto something here. But really, it kind of happened by accident. I had a friend, I was just doing makeup on myself for like makeup of the day selfies on Instagram. And I had a friend who had just got into modeling, and she asked me if I could do her makeup for a shoot. She had to show up ready. So I said, sure, you know, come on over. I didn't really have a kit. I said, bring what you have, you know what I mean? And we kind of just did our thing. I didn't even go to that shoot, sent her on her way. Got the pictures back a couple weeks later, and they were beautiful. And I kind of was like, maybe I should take this more seriously, you know? And even she was telling me that the photographer was really impressed. And from there, I decided I'm gonna take this more seriously, and I started building a kit. Really, in the beginning, I was all about photo makeup and not weddings. I was too scared to do weddings because I felt like so much pressure on such an important day, you know? And I was like, oh man, I don't want to mess up someone's day if they're not happy, you know? But I started with photos. I put myself on this website called Model Mayhem. I hooked up with a few different female photographers, and we kind of worked together for a couple years doing shoots. I did a lot of runway stuff. I ended up working with some local modeling agencies out of Rhode Island. So I did a lot of runway stuff, photo shoot stuff, a lot of model boot camps, teaching girls how to do basic makeup, getting them prepped for headshot stuff, things like that. Cool. And then that kind of just ended, and Pretty Gossip started on Facebook. So I really attribute a lot of my success to Pretty Gossip.
And for those who don't know, what is Pretty Gossip?
Pretty Gossip is a beauty recommendation private group page on Facebook. So that kind of came about, I want to say it was like 2014-ish that came about. And out of nowhere, I started getting all these crazy recommendations from brides, like looking for a natural makeup artist. And the next thing you know, I had a full wedding season booked.
Wow.
And then I just kind of never turned back from there. I was like, weddings is where I belong. I don't know what I was so nervous about. Just gonna bounce over with a wet sponge. This really helps to blend everything in, push everything right into the skin. Because it's wet, it removes any residual excess that's just sitting that would turn into a little bit of a cake face. Yep.
Well, and I think that's important what you said about brides looking for a natural makeup artist, because I find that a lot of women, especially those who don't wear makeup often, they want to wear it on their wedding day and they don't want to look caked on or look like something that they're not. They want their natural beauty just enhanced. And so a lot of brides are looking for just that natural.
Right. They want their husbands to recognize them when they step onto the aisle. That's a biggie. So yeah, I think because of my background in photography and knowing how the camera works and how it's going to photograph my work, that really helped me in bridal, because the whole point of having professional makeup on bridal days, wedding days, is that you're going to be photographed a million times by professionals and non-professionals alike in different lightings, and the makeup has to last and look great all day, all night. So photography definitely helped me.
And then once you got into the wedding sphere,
I kind of realized this was my niche and this is where I belonged, and not everyone can master light makeup that still has a touch of glam. I'm just taking a deeper shade now to add some depth to her deeper areas like her forehead and around her cheeks. I found that that's where I belonged and I love it. I'm never going back. I definitely, that's definitely my specialty now. I love working with brides. It's such a special time. And, you know, it's celebrating love and everyone's happy and you're just surrounded by people who are happy for you and love and care for you. And that's the best. You know, I love being in that kind of energy.
Yeah. No, it's so true. It's just, it's a totally different atmosphere, I would imagine, than getting someone ready to do photography or getting ready to post on Instagram when you're preparing someone for a wedding, which is such a memorable and important occasion. Just the atmosphere is so different too.
Right. In photography, you can kind of cheat a little because they have editing. It doesn't need to be long lasting. You're there for touch-ups. It's a little different. I'm not there with you the whole night on your wedding, so we got to make sure we get it right the first time. Just going to come right over here and just add some, I like to call this adding sun, adding warmth. So I'm just adding sun and warmth with my deeper shade. And this doesn't need to be like perfectly placed because I'm not contouring. I'm just adding warmth so that everything blends and is seamless and natural.
And so speaking of brides, or I guess clients in general, I know that often someone might already have a vision. They have a picture, they're showing you their Pinterest board or an Instagram post that they saw. But at the same time, you are a professional, you know what looks good, you know certain techniques. So how do you kind of balance as a professional makeup artist, balance between what your client's vision is and your own expertise and creativity?
That's a great question. So it can be difficult. It's hard to describe what you mean in your head because everyone has different versions of different words. What's natural to me may not be natural to you. What's soft glam for me may be heavy glam for you, you know? So I like to ask for reference photos. I'm gonna use a little bit of this guy. I'm gonna take some cream blush and add this to her cheeks. I like to ask for reference photos and I like to ask them specifically, what do you like about this photo? A lot of the times we get real specific and it's, well, I really love the eyes here, or I really love how radiant the skin looks in this photo, but like I hate that the lips are this accentuated, you know? So I take those little notes, look at them, and kind of incorporate those little things that make sense with their features. A lot of times in these photos that people have, though I can't tell you how many pictures of Kim Kardashian I've seen that I want this makeup, you know, and then we do a version of that makeup and they still feel like it's too much. It's because you don't have the same face shape, you don't have the same eye shape, you know. So it took me a while, but you learn to pick and choose from those photos what is going to work for that client. So maybe we won't smoke out the under eye as much because it's going to close off your eyes because you have a smaller eye. You know what I mean? I also think it's super important to trial. This is why we trial, because so many women think that this is what they want until it's on them and they're like, whoa, this is not me. I don't like this. I don't want to do this. So we trial. Trials are extremely important.
Do you find that people are honest in their trials? I feel like people are always joking about being nervous to tell their hairstylist or their makeup artist if they don't like something. Do you have to kind of be like the therapist and the makeup artist?
Absolutely. Absolutely, I do. I find that a lot of the times if someone's uncomfortable with something, they're not comfortable saying it in person, but I'll get it in the email later.
Got it.
I loved everything, but I think maybe let's tone this down. And I'm like, honey bunny, we could have said that in person. Never gonna be offended. This is about you. And for me, I want my client to be happy and satisfied. That's why I'm here.
I think that's important, and I asked you that question specifically for viewers to hear that, because I often hear, especially women joking around about that they'll get a hairstyle and not want to say anything and then go home and cry or go home and try to change it, or they'll say everything's good with the makeup and then, like you said, follow up later. And it's like, feel empowered and don't feel like you're going to offend the makeup artist or the stylist.
It's our job. It's our job, and you're paying us to get what you want. So don't ever feel offended. I would much rather you leave walking away feeling like, wow, she nailed it, even though it took 3 times, you know?
Yeah, I think that's really important for people to hear.
Yes. Whenever you're getting a service like this, it's about you. It's not about us. My opinion is moot. You know what I mean? It's about you. All right, so we have foundation, a little liquid bronzing going on, and some blush on the cheeks. I like to layer my liquids, creams, and powders. So everything that I do here as far as liquid bronzing, adding color to the cheek, we're gonna follow that up with powder as well. But first we're gonna conceal. I'm just using a drugstore concealer. This is just the Maybelline Fit Me concealer. These are my absolute favorites. I've tried lots of high-end concealers. They say that these are the dupe for NARS. I find that NARS are way thicker, not as easy to blend. They don't sit as forgiving under the eye if you have any kind of fine lines. So I'm just taking some of this and scraping it out onto my palette. And we're not going to use too much concealer. I'm actually going to take it on this fluffy brush. So I'm just taking it on this little cheapy Wet n Wild brush. I like to use these for like liquids and creams because I don't care if they get like stained and gross. Where some of my other ones, I don't want them to get stained. So I'm not going for a crazy like highlighted Instagram effect here. We're just going to conceal what we need to conceal. Just a little bit of darkness. Rihanna actually doesn't have too much of under eye circles here.
8 hours of sleep tonight.
I wish. I'm a busy gal. I don't get 8 hours. So I was working out of Fall River for a long time. Once I got into bridal and I knew that I wanted to take that more serious, I got myself into a studio.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I can't be like doing trials out of my apartment. It's not always the best situation to go to other people's homes. So it was something that I was really excited about, and that lasted for about 3.5 years. And when COVID hit, weddings stopped. So in my mind, I had always had this idea that people will always get married. There'll always be a demand for my service. Well, COVID cleared that up real quick. That's not true. So I decided it was time to like put my esthetician license to work. I kind of was sitting on my esthetician license and I wasn't doing anything with it. So I knew I always was interested in doing brows. I would tweeze my friends' brows when we were in junior high school. It wasn't a good job, but I still liked doing it, you know? That's back when we were doing Gwen Stefani and Christina Aguilera. Pencil thin eyebrows.
I was gonna say back then was the thin style.
Please,
Lots
all
of
the
plucking.
90s things are coming back. That does not need to come back, okay? Please, keep it away. I don't want anything to do with it. Ruined my brows. So yeah, I was like, you know what? I just jumped right in and I set up a little brow bar right in my studio. And I'm actually gonna take some of that concealer right on the lids too. And that started growing really, really fast.
Wow.
And my old studio in Fall River, it was not the best situation. It was a locked building. It was on top of a restaurant. It was on South Main Street, so there was no parking. And I just wanted a better experience for my clients, an easier experience for them to get to me. So I started looking. I had checked out a few places at Kilburn Mills. That kind of fell through. And then one night, it just dawned on me, like Howland Place.
Oh yeah.
Why did I not think of Howland Place? So I sent out an email, got a quick response. I literally looked at units the next day.
Oh wow.
And I started there in February. And now that's Finesse Beauty Studio. Yeah.
And they have parking?
We have a whole parking lot. We have 2 parking lots. We have an elevator, which I did not have, and I was on the 3rd floor before, so that was rough. And yeah, free parking, elevator. It's not a locked building. You can walk right in. You can find me. It's easy peasy. I have temperature control, which is nice. Didn't have that before either.
That's awesome. So you found that you were growing, needed a new space, and you were able to continue building your business and brand and do something that was, I guess, more, like you said, more accessible for your clients.
Right. And then, let's be real, my main client base is here in New Bedford. So it was kind of annoying for my clients to have to go so out of their way. Even though Fall River was only next door, it's still annoying to have to get on the highway and do the whole
just
deal.
Convenience and time.
Yeah. Just
especially for
a little bit of
brides
liquid
who
high.
are doing a million things.
Right, yeah. Brides, working moms, like who has the time to take an extra 20-minute drive if you don't need to, you know? So it was important for me to get back in the city and cater to the women here. I find that so many women leave the city for their beauty services. Everyone goes to Rhode Island, right?
Right.
You know, I can't tell you how many times people, no one here does brow tinting, I go to Rhode Island. Well, guess what? I do brow tinting here in New Bedford.
Awesome. Yeah, it's so good to know. And people have for so long just been used to, I think it's the default to feel like you have to travel outside of here to look for services.
Right.
And I think everyone will see, especially on tonight's episode, that there are so many Black women entrepreneurs who are offering amazing services right here.
So many.
In our own backyard.
Right, and we just need to step up and support each other.
I know that it's well known that the beauty industry has very much been grounded in Eurocentric views and a Eurocentric standard of beauty. Have you seen that change or I guess since you've started your career, have you seen that change? And especially now where more businesses, more brands are focused on racial equity?
I definitely have seen a change. I think more and more brands are factoring that women of color just don't fall between 3 or 4 shades. Because for years, that's how they were playing us. You get a new launch of all these foundations from a great brand, and there's all these light shades, all these medium shades, maybe a couple tan, and then there's 2 brown shades at the end.
Right.
What is that?
Right.
We need more than that. So again, I already talked about the fact that we have so many different coloring in our skin tones already anyway. We need more than just 2 shades of foundation in the brands.
Right.
So I think that when Fenty Beauty launched with 50 shades of diverse colors and undertones, I think it really set the tone for other brands. And they were like, oh crap, Rihanna's onto something.
We need to step our game up.
This music girl's coming for our culture. And thank God she did, because so many brands followed suit and it was necessary.
Right.
And I find that too, I see a lot of smaller Black-owned independent brands like Danessa Myricks, who we use today, she's an amazing makeup artist and photographer. She's been in the industry for years. And she started her own line quite a while ago, but it was like never mainstream. It was kind of like it was just known to professionals. But she just launched last month in Sephora all across the country.
Oh, wow.
So that's huge.
So exciting.
Yes. So it's amazing to see these smaller brands getting the recognition and battling it out with like these bigger mainstream lines. And they're doing well. And it's because there's a market for us.
Right, right. It's like about time.
It's about time. So I'm just using a little bit of Danessa Myricks Evolution powder. It's a very fine, loose powder. And I'm just gonna set where I don't want shine. So right here under the eyes where we added concealer, we don't want that to crease up on us. I like to go right here around the nose. A lot of us, even if you're not an oily person, you tend to get a touch of oil right there. So I like to just press this in. Rihanna will tell you I'm just pressing. I'm putting a little bit of pressure. We want that. That's where the term beat the face comes in. It's because you put the pressure. Push it right into the skin. I'm gonna do a little right across the nose, center of the forehead, basically the T-zone. But I wanna leave everything else with a nice sheen.
How many brides or weddings would you say you do average? Well, not last year, but
oh man,
average.
Girl. So usually, that's a great question. Usually I'm booked from every weekend, unless I schedule myself a weekend off.
Right, right.
I'm booked every weekend from April to the end of November.
Wow.
So it's a lot. It is a lot, honey bunny.
And especially the other thing is that wedding season used to be like May to September, and now it's expanding on both sides where people, especially now winters have been kind of mild, people will get married late winter and now go all the way through November, early December. So basically weddings are soon to be.
There's no such thing as just a wedding season anymore. No,
right.
People are taking advantage of like the lower pricing when it comes to off season, you know? So that off season has become a season in itself.
Right, right.
Which is great, you know? It's great for us vendors who feel like a lot of the time our winter is like no work. You know, it's great to work year round, of course.
And did you find that a lot of your clients who were scheduled for last year, did they continue on and rebook you for this year, or did some of them just kind of change their plans?
A little of both. I had, you know, most postponed and moved their dates till this year. Some just went ahead and eloped, or just did like a small little backyard ceremony. So 2020 was a weird time. I did still do some weddings. Some people still kept with it. We're just gonna add a little bit of this Fenty bronzer right into the cheeks and the forehead. And again, I'm not contouring with this, I'm just adding warmth. So I'm not being super specific. It doesn't need to be right under the contour line, that's okay. So I had a lot of postponements, a lot of smaller versions of weddings. I did a lot of brides alone versus the bridal party, you know, because they just had to downsize so much. I like to add blush and bronzer right on the nose when it comes to a summertime look. Because when you think about being sun-kissed, your nose always gets color, you know?
Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm just taking this shimmery, peachy pink blush. This is from Benefit Cosmetics. It's called California. They have some cute, fun packaging. So remember, everywhere where we did cream and liquid, we're just gonna reinforce that and set it, so to speak, with our powders, the powder version. So we did a cream blush, I'm adding some powder blush.
And why do you like to do that?
This is where your longevity comes in. You can sweat through this makeup, it's gonna photograph amazing. Layering that way is amazing for photography. And then just the longevity factor, and it just really locks everything into place.
Yeah, right, because like you said, you're not right there next to the bride throughout
I'm not there.
8-hour day.
Unless you book me for that, but a lot of people don't want to pay for that. I won't lie. And then we're gonna jump into some of my favorite highlighters. Fenty Beauty makes some of the best highlighters in the market right now. Some of the best shades. I'm using Mean Money Hustler Baby. We're gonna go, and the way Rihanna does it is she does like a more relaxed, softer side, and then more of a bam in your face side. We're gonna take the bam in your face side.
I love highlighter.
Highlight is one of my favorite things. And we're just swirling this all over the tops of the cheeks. I'm gonna take this right here above the brow. I'm gonna have you turn just a touch for me. Again, not being crazy specific. I don't like when you see just a swipe of a line. Blend that, you guys. Keep blending. Blending is your best friend. You can never blend too much, I promise. Again, right above the brow. And then just move around, show them that glow. Look at that. And then another favorite place for me to put highlight is right here in between the eyes and on the tip of the nose. Not too much on the tip of the nose, okay? No light bulbs. No light bulbs, guys. And I like to take just a touch right on the chin. Again, we're going for a bronzy, glowy vibe, so highlight is our friend today. I'm gonna jump right in and grab a tiny little brush, a little detail brush. I'm gonna take this highlight and we're gonna pop this right on the inner corners of her eyes. I might go in with 2 highlights here. This just helps to wake up the eyes, brighten up the eyes. It looks beautiful when you move around. Looks beautiful on camera. And this is something you can actually do with like no makeup. This is my kind of makeup. I don't have time to do my makeup, so I'm a brows, mascara, and highlight on my bare skin kind of girl. That's all I do. Today I have makeup on because I'm on camera. No, I don't just look like this. I wish.
So when you were sharing your story, you said how this was something that you've always been into and then decided to take it more seriously. Do you have any advice for women who are watching, especially potential Black women entrepreneurs? Anything that you'd like to share?
Yeah, I do. I do. My best advice, girls, is to just start. Start. Trust your gut, trust your idea, throw it out there. Don't wait for the perfect amount of followers. Don't wait for the perfect amount of money in the bank. There's never gonna be a perfect situation ever. Just start. You will be amazed at how many people out there wanna support you just because it's you and because your idea is good. Be creative, be consistent, be self-accountable, self-motivated. It's hard being a one-woman show, I will not lie. Find yourself a support team people who are truly rooting for you, not haters, truly rooting for you, who will come and help me clean my kit at 2 a.m. when I have to be on the road at 5 a.m. to do a ride, you know, in New Hampshire, who knows, you know? You want those kind of people having your back. That's gonna give you the push every time you feel like I can't do this, I can't do this. That's your push, because you're gonna have those moments where I can't do this, I'm failing, and you're not failing. You're just your own worst judgment, which makes sense. I'm just using a little palette from Juvia's Place. This is the Nubian. Great, another great Black-owned brand. You can find Juvia's Place in Ulta and online as well. So I'm just taking a little bit of a shimmer shade, and we're just gonna go right over the eyelids, nothing too crazy. So back to my story. I actually joined a female entrepreneur group called Femme Social Club. And it's been really great because we're all like-minded women who all know what it's like to struggle in business and to do it alone. So we really help each other out with resources, with just motivation, pushing each other to do, you know, our goals that we verbalized, and they've been the best support that I've ever had when it comes to my business. And because they understand, sometimes your friends will support you, but they don't always understand the struggle of that. There's like an inner struggle sometimes. And everyone will just think everything's all good. But if you've really never run a business, and especially a service-based business, some people just may not understand where you're coming from. So surround yourself with like-minded women, man. I'm telling you, it's everything.
Yeah, and you saying that, it's come up literally on every event we've done so far, that women have shared the importance of having that core group of supporters, finding your fellow entrepreneurs to be mentors, to build community, to have that support system. Everyone has mentioned just how imperative that is, and whether it's the detailed business advice or just that shoulder to cry on for someone who's experienced something similar as a business owner. Everyone has said how vital that is, and how much it's really helped them along their way.
It's so important. It's so important to feel like you have a team behind you, you know? It gets lonely. They say it gets lonely at the top. Not that you're at the top, but you're doing something different than the norm. You're not trying to do the basic 9 to 5. You're setting yourself apart. So it can get lonely. There's a lot of hours. There's a lot of sacrifice. And you do it because you love it, you know? I sacrificed a lot of personal time to run my business. And I mean, I wouldn't change it for the world, you know? But you have to be ready for those sacrifices and kind of want to do them, if that makes sense. Rayanne, I'm gonna have you look up, and I'm just gonna put a little bit of the bronzer that we used just right under the eye to finish off the eyeshadow look. Even though it's not much of an eyeshadow look, we're just doing a wash. I'm gonna come right from this angle. So that's my best advice, is to trust your gut and just start putting in the work. Whether it's on social media, I mean, there are so many different types of businesses out there now. I don't know, brick and mortar, online businesses, e-commerces, there's so many different things. So of course it depends on what you're trying to do, but just start, just start. Don't wait. Because before you know it, someone else is gonna have a similar idea, they're gonna jump right on it, they're gonna blow up, and you're gonna look like the copycat. You don't want that.
I think, there's always, I think people's doubts can get in their way more than any other obstacle.
Yeah, and you know, I had doubts. I still have doubts sometimes. I had doubts about moving to Holland Place. You know, I was like, I'm nervous. This is a rent jump. This is for real now, you know? And my girls at Femme were just like, no, you got this. You're already doing it. People are waiting for you, and they remind you of the things that you talk yourself out of, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, so it's really good.
That's awesome to have that community.
For sure. Just taking a little bit of a waterproof mascara. I like this one from Neutrogena. Any of my makeup artist friends, you need this because it doesn't come with a brush. You can never accidentally like double dip or do anything nasty. This is your little cap and you have your disposable.
Nice.
I love this guy. And they make this in different formulas and different colors. We're gonna put some mascara on. I'm gonna have you open, but look down. Perfect. And we're just gonna wiggle this right in. I find that this is the easiest way to apply mascara on a client. Sometimes if they look up, you end up creating a big mess in your eyeshadow. You don't want them to be closed because you can't really get the lashes. I also think it's more comfortable for the client to just be looking down.
Right. I know, and I have such sensitive eyes that I always feel like I struggle.
Nope, you got this. You're not even blinking on me. Oh, look at that. We'll let that sit for 1 second. I'm going to jump to a fresh one.
And when you were first getting into makeup, how did you, was it just a lot of practice? Were you doing research? Was it tutorials and kind of putting your own spin on it? Or
I like to say YouTube University. Definitely, there were so many makeup, back in the day when YouTube makeup first started, it was real working makeup artists sharing their tips. And I loved that. Now it's anybody and everybody who just does makeup on themselves and now they're everything, who cares? I like real working makeup artists sharing real tips for all different type of women across the board. So I learned from Marlena, from Makeup Geek. I learned from Wayne Goss, he's overseas, but he's amazing. Angie DiBattista, she's great teaching the business side of makeup and beauty. Candy Johnson. There's so many out there that are professional women who teach makeup. Those are the ones that I watch.
Right.
And it's funny because a couple years ago, a big YouTube video came out with Scott Barnes, who is J-Lo's makeup artist. And he did this J-Lo makeover on just another influencer, Tati. If you've never seen it, look it up, Tati and Scott Barnes. It's an amazing video. But he shows this technique that he does on J-Lo called underpainting that I had already learned 4 years ago from Wayne Goss on YouTube, you know? And I was like, oh yeah, I already do that, you know? So it's really cool. Yep, down, perfect. It's really cool because there is a lot of information out there. Just don't get swindled by the hype. Look for the working artists, learn from them. So it was a lot of research, a lot of practice, a lot of free makeup. But it was worth it. Just like anything, practice makes perfect. You can't perfect your craft without practicing, you know? Now I'm gonna have you look up a touch and I'm just gonna take this and do a little light wiggle right under the eye.
And I know we've talked so much about brides. Do you do, like if someone's doing a maternity shoot, a birthday? Or...
Yes, actually that's what 2020 became, a lot of maternity shoots. Quarantine babies, you know? But it's beautiful, it's beautiful. I do a lot of maternity. I do sweet 16s, proms when they're happening, any kind of special occasion, special event, any kind of photo makeup. Of course, brides. I do it all, even from just like birthday night out kind of vibe, you know? You can jump right on my booking site and just book any kind of makeup. I have 2 options for makeup. She's a Natural, which is something more like this. We're not gonna do lashes. We're not going crazy heavy glam. It's just She's a Natural. And then I also have She's Glam, which is the opposite. We'll go a touch heavier. We'll do some bigger lashes. We'll add, you know, all the eyeshadow, all that jazz. So there's a different kind of version of makeup for every woman out there, I promise you. I promise you. And that's why I don't feel like, how do I say? I don't feel like there's push and pull from other artists. Like there's room for all of us because we all have our own touch and our own hands. Yep. And our clients like different things about our styles, you know?
Yeah, it's not a competition.
You have beautiful brows. I don't feel like I need to do much on them, but just to showcase some technique, I will. I'm just using this little brow palette, which has all my little shades. When you do your brows, always brush them up. Get yourself a little spoolie. You can get a whole pack on Amazon for a few bucks. But always brush them up. And this goes for any of my clients who have recently had brow laminations. Brush your brows, girls. I'm gonna take this shade right here. And I'm just gonna add where I think Rihanna needs a little touch to balance out her brow. My whole vibe is less is more. I really feel like less is more. You don't need to do too much when it comes to beauty. And thankfully, the new trend is kind of becoming less is more, which I love. Now they have that trend going around of 2016 makeup versus 2021.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And it was so glam, man. It was so extra.
Right.
It really was. On the brows, I love using powders because I just feel like they're the most forgiving and they look the most natural and they wear the best. I'm gonna add just a touch more right in there. And Rihanna will tell you that's a very light hand.
Oh, yeah.
Just to be extra, I'm gonna jump back into my highlighter. I'm just gonna take my finger just like this. I'm gonna have you close. We're gonna press this right into the center of the eye. That's just gonna add a little dimension. And when she opens and is in the sun, at the beach, by the pool, and she's blinking, she's gonna look amazing. Her eyes are gonna sparkle and gleam from across the way. Her husband's gonna be like, dang, is that my babe? All right, I'm gonna do a little lip. We'll call it a day. Rihanna, what do you usually like for like lips?
I either do like a light, like a nude tan, or I just do a gloss.
All right. I say let's do a gloss. Yeah. Let's do a gloss. Let's do it. Let's stick with my Fenty theme here. And let's do a gloss.
And so we've talked about all of your awesome clients, all of the events you do. If someone wants to reach you, they're watching this and they're like, man, I have my wedding's coming up, my maternity shoot's coming up. Are you currently taking clients? And if so, what is the best way to reach you?
Yes, I am currently taking clients. You can reach me right through Instagram. I am at Finesse Beauty Studio. That's finesse_beauty_studio. And also Bridal by Celestial. That's my bridal portfolio page. Anyone who is interested in booking brow or lash services can hop right onto my Instagram, and I have a direct link to book right through the website. You book yourself right in. So you see what I have available, what works for you, and you create your little profile and book yourself, which is awesome. It's a lifesaver for me.
Yeah.
Anyone who is interested in bridal, I am accepting bridal inquiries for 2022. My 2021 is done, it's booked, I'm sorry. But 2022, I'm taking dates right now and we're setting trial dates. So for that, it's best to email me. You can hop right onto my website, which is just my name, celestialhoutman.com. And that shows my whole bridal portfolio, all of my rates, all of my policies, all the info that you need. And then from there, there's a direct contact email right there. So you can just write a little blurb, let me know you're interested in wedding makeup for however many people, throw your location in there, please. Don't forget the date. And then I'll just get back to you and we move forward from there.
Awesome.
My final step is always a setting spray. This is another artist-friendly brand, but there are so many setting sprays out there on the market now. Some of my favorite, affordable ones are the Milani. Their whole line, they have so many different ones. They're all really good. They're really good. So I'm just gonna do a nice little spritz. And then I always take my sponge and just bounce over that and press it in. You don't want any of those little droplets to kind of dry on your face. I don't know if that's ever happened, but it's happened to me. Morphe makes a nice like a mist concealer that doesn't squirt like that. It's really nice. And you just have one little smudge. Hope you can open for me. All better. That's it. You're gorgeous. Let me give you a mirror, yeah?
Beautiful. And like you said, really light and natural. It's not heavy. I feel like I could wear this all the time.
It's important for me to know that my client not only looks great and they're comfortable with the makeup look itself, but that it feels comfortable on the skin.
And I personally don't wear foundation or a lot of makeup, and this feels like I have nothing on.
Yeah, and it looks amazing.
So I really just want to thank you for taking the time today. It's been amazing, and I know that everyone watching has learned some makeup tips and tricks and has learned just from your story and sharing about entrepreneurship, about taking an idea, a talent, and letting it grow and becoming what it is today. So we really, truly appreciate your time. It's been wonderful to hear all you've been able to share with us.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you girls so much. And I'm so happy that you guys created a platform like this, and we needed this. And I'm happy that you took your idea and you ran with it. And it's growing. This is the fourth segment now.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's really amazing.
Yeah. And we have more to come. So thank you again.
I can't wait to see more.
Thank you so much to Celestial and Rayana for that beautiful demonstration, and the discussion was so interesting. Thank you so much for both of you for participating in that for our audience. And if you've enjoyed tonight's event and our Black in Business series, and you're passionate about supporting Black-owned business, then you will need to be joining us on June 19th. Juneteenth is also known as Black Independence Day, and it commemorates June 19th, 1865, when the official news of the end of slavery in the United States reached Texas. It's notably 2.5 years after the formal Emancipation Proclamation. This is a day of recognition and empowerment for the Black community and its allies. So in honor of Juneteenth, we will host our first Black in Business pop-up marketplace this year at the Roach Jones Stuff House in downtown New Bedford. We are hand selecting a diverse group of vendors to offer you the very best experience and to offer you the opportunity to find your next favorite product. So you can come and shop small, shop local, and shop Black owned. That is June 19th, just coming up in a couple of weeks. So you don't want to miss it. Next up, we have Jonna Veal. Jonna is the owner and operator of Jonna's Hair Salon in New Bedford, Massachusetts. She attended La Newton School of Beauty Culture in '91. At the time, they were Boston's only minority-owned cosmetology school dedicated to Black hair care and education. She began her career working and assisting Charlene's Hair Salon, a staple in Boston. And 5 short years later, she brought her talents and expertise back to her hometown of New Bedford and opened Jonna's Hair Salon in '97. So for the past 23 years, her mission has and always will be to promote and maintain the health and integrity of our clients' hair. And I grew up going to Jonna's, and I saw Jonna for my hair care and felt really lucky when I got to go there. So I know the feeling of sitting in Jonna's Jana's chair, and I hope that you all will enjoy our discussion tonight.
Thank you for having me. I am Jana of Jana's Hair Salon, located on 765 Kempton Street in Bedford, Mass. I've been doing hair since 92, and I started in Boston. Then I came to my hometown and opened up a salon in 1997. And I've been here in the same location since.
Well, welcome, Jana. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. And it's such a delight to have you and be able to pick your brain a little bit since you have really been able to endure with your business through some challenging times, particularly over the last year. So I'm interested a little bit to know about how you've navigated the pandemic. Did you get to apply for any of the minority-owned business grants or anything like that's worked out for supporting your small business?
Yes, I was able to apply, and I applied to quite a few. And I did get one. And then I also got a PPP through my bank.
Okay. All right. Well, that's great. So, but it sounds like there were many that you applied for, but then not a lot of success with that.
No.
Okay. And that's, I think, a reality that so many small businesses are really facing in the last year. And then the loans we know had to be paid back versus a grant. So thank you for sharing that with us. And how about during the pandemic with your clients? Are they turning to try to do their own hair and showing up afterwards? Really?
Yes.
Like, fix me.
Yes. I did have a few that did some damage that now we're in the process of, repairing their hair. It does take time. People think, healthy hair happens overnight, which it doesn't. It is a 50-50, 50% me, 50% you on how you take care of your hair.
Mm-hmm. And now how about with current trends with hair, and how do you feel like you're shifting or adapting to some of the trends or not? I know there's more, push for less chemicals, and is that something that in your salon that you're catering to?
I really always catered to more natural hair. So about 40% of my business is chemical services, and the other 60 is all natural. I have clients that go from 2C to 2B, which is wavy, to 4C, which is super curly. So I've always done both.
That's such a skill to be able to work with all of those textures and making people feel comfortable, like she's got me. This is I'm in the right hands. So that's nice to hear. And how about a time that I can recall going to your salon? I mean, I went to you when I was a kid, but I do remember a time around 2017 when I went to see you or one of your stylists, but it was in another location, and I had heard about a car crash that happened right into your building. So I was wondering, since you had to pick up and move, and how did that affect your business?
Really, I only missed one day of work.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I was able to come in and grab my computer that had all my numbers and stuff in. And I went over to another salon. If I can shout her out, Carrie at the Color Bar.
Yeah.
She was great to me. She was really great to me. I walked in. She gave me the keys off of one of her other stylists. I said, you can start whenever you want.
Wow.
One day.
That's amazing for somebody to have that, because it can feel like kind of competition, I bet, in that industry. But for, you know, you and Carrie, maybe not so much since she was.
Oh no, she definitely opened up her spot to me with no questions asked.
And when you return to Jana's, what's different about it from before that accident?
Just the look, really. You get the same great service.
Okay.
And that was it. Just the look has changed.
Okay. Well, it sounds like you survived and endured that problem. So
yeah.
What would you say sets your business apart? What is it that people come to you for, that specialty service? What would you say?
I would say one is consistency with the same results as you had the first time you came in.
Mm-hmm.
And just giving you maybe not the results you want, because everybody wants to be platinum or bright red, but if your hair is not healthy enough for that, I don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
I try to maintain the integrity of your hair, which is, you know, free flowing and just feel good all around.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants to be able to flip their hair and really have it move and not stay stiff.
Mm-hmm. So true. And what do you do the Inca Glow there? Press and set. What type of styles are you most often doing in the salon?
Well, yes, I've been doing Inca Glow probably for the last 2 years, maybe even closer to 3. It's not like the keratin, but you get the same feel, the same result. Not the same because they're 2 different chemicals.
Mm-hmm.
The Inca Glow, you get a lot of shine and it just really feels great. It feels like butter almost.
Ooh, okay.
I've been doing, like some of them are on their 5th and 6th treatment.
Okay.
It's not where when you wash your hair will be pin straight. It's not like that. It really takes care of frizz.
Mm-hmm.
Inca Glow is a conditioning smoothing treatment.
Okay.
So it's not a permanent thing. It lasts about 15 to 16 weeks, depending on how you take care of your hair. But it is lovely. It really is. I have it.
You do? Okay. So she vouches for the Inca Glow. I've
Yes.
never had it. I did keratin for years. I did relaxer for years before that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's something new to me. I haven't heard of that. So it's great to know that you offer it locally.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely. If you see my the shop's Facebook page or the shop's Instagram page, I have pictures of people who have natural hair.
Yeah.
I get the Inca Glow and then I show you the results.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely worth checking out, definitely worth even getting.
All right. You heard it here tonight with Jana. And do you want to shout out to your team? I know you have an amazing team that you work with.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. I have Larissa. She's still with me. Right now, we are at a smaller staff because of the limitations. And I also still have my mother working with me.
Amazing. What an amazing team.
Yes.
Love it. So people can find you on Facebook, Jana's Hair Salon. And what's the phone number to call in to make an appointment, Jana?
508-984-7796.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Opening up. I know this is like a really rare moment.
Yes.
So yes, we got it.
Yes.
Thank you. And
thank you.
We will wrap for tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Justina.
Yeah.
Well, thank you everyone for tuning in tonight. It was a wonderful evening filled with so many amazing women talking about beauty, from hair and makeup. I'm sure that everyone listening tonight has found a new style, someone that they'll be asking for a service, especially with summer 2021 upon us and looking to gather more, go out more safely, and be together with our loved ones. So really appreciate hearing the perspective from some people who have been in business for a while, for a couple of decades, and some people who are newer and just getting into the game. So I love that we had a varied perspective and just the different stories of how people got to where they are. It's always so inspiring to hear someone's story, and love that we have this platform to be able to share with you all and for Justine and I to learn as well.
Yeah, I'm learning each time that we do this. I learn so much about these businesses and about the women, just getting to talk one-on-one. These are really important discussions. So thank you all for rocking with us. If you enjoy the content, if you shop, if you spend money in the community, bookmark BuyBlackNB and tell a friend. All right, we'll see you next time.
Have a great night.
Bye.